to the first episode of Allied Paranormal's Investigation Files, where we'll review our evidence, go over our case files, and hear our experiences directly from the team members. We will try to explain why some evidence may or may not be paranormal. On future episodes, we'll explain our equipment and let you get to know some of our investigators. Who is Allied Paranormal? We are a diverse group of open-minded skeptics and believers based out of mid-Michigan who are out to prove or disprove paranormal activity in local homes and businesses. We are friends and teammates who travel the state to find the truth out about life and what may be beyond it. We'll start out with one of our most active cases from our files. Allied travels to Duran to visit a local pizzeria, where the employees claim that they may not be alone in the building. Papa Joe's Pizza has been a staple in the local community. Aside from it being a pizzeria, it's had a long and colorful history. The upper apartments served as living arrangements for the many railroad workers from years past. And some even say there was a brothel that catered to those workers. Over the years, ghost stories were handed down from person to person and continue on today after the death of the original owner, Joe, and the belief that Joe is still working there. After being closed for years, Phil Dewey reopened the restaurant and began to experience paranormal happenings for himself. He tells us about some of his experiences.
The most common thing we initially seen. It didn't happen. I did a lot of the work here myself prior to us opening, so I'd be here from 9 in the morning till 2 or 3 o'clock at night painting and working by myself for the most part. And I didn't see anything that whole time at all. But when we turned everything back on and kind of resurrected what was happening here with the place, because it was closed for 3 or 4 years. So when we turned everything on, rehired all the original people that worked here, reopened it, then the activity started to happen once we were open in the first couple of days. Like I said, bread, we would be here and bread would fly off like a shelf like that. And it wouldn't roll down to where it would go. No, right in the middle of the room. Sometimes I'll come down in the morning and like this will happen. Just be sitting there. They'll sit there in the morning, Parmesan or different things. So I'll come down and pick them up. Ryan's got his apron pulled a couple times. He's been working on the grill. Denny has had. We've heard when me and Denny work here, we hear hollers sometimes. It's happened a couple of times here. Hey! Out of nowhere, you know.
Denny.
So.
Remember Denny?
Yeah, he said you heard Denny. I was like, what was that? So we hear stuff in the kitchen and stuff. So all over here. And this door, the frame kind of sits funny in the door. Hear that squeaking? And you can instantly hear the air coming through because it's like the buildings are a lot shorter and the air forces through here. So I was in here about 3 o'clock in the morning. I heard this. Right? And I felt the wind and everything in here. So I'm around the corner, sitting at the desk, and I'm sitting down, I'm like, waited for a minute, because I can't really see around that corner from where I'm at. So I thought Denny was out there. So I go out there, I say, hey, Denno. And I walk all the way through the whole kitchen, check everything out, walk back, check the door, it's locked. So that scared me. That's pretty much left the Joe. Everybody here calls it Joe. They think it's Joe. Okay, just because of the traumatic events that happened towards his end.
The employees also agree that strange things do happen here.
I was answering the phone and everybody else wasn't here, and I looked over because I heard something fall on the ground, and it was our inventory clipboard that was flung off of our prep table, and there wasn't anybody here besides me on this side of the restaurant.
Other than the buns flying off the top shelf probably 3 or 4 times, full cans of non-stick spray falling. I was cleaning the grill one time, I had my shirt wrapped, and A lot of times I'll just be making pizza. I can feel somebody walking by me, like
That just happened to me
the
at the fish
pressure,
station.
like somebody walking right behind you.
During our first investigation in July of 2011, team members experienced different phenomena in different areas of the building. What did you experience during the investigations?
The first time, not a whole lot. We didn't actually go all the way upstairs. We went in the basement, the usual creepy feelings.
Bunch of tapping and footsteps and tapping. Sometimes hear a voice once in a great while.
Downstairs in the basement, it was creepy, and as me and my team member Amy were walking upstairs, my hair clip was removed slightly to let my hair fall down, and it shouldn't have done that because my hair was securely in place.
Well, during our first EVP session, I remember asking for a knock to answer my questions, and we got one knock. I began our EVP session by talking to the darkest corner of the basement.
Can you knock for me? Thank you.
The tap was a direct response to my request. Unfortunately, it's barely audible to our recorders. EVPs, or electronic voice phenomena, are the most frequently captured evidence by paranormal teams around the world. Our first night's investigation in Papa Joe's was no different. While we were in the basement, and before any questions are asked, Allied team member Amy mentions hearing a train. Listen to what follows. The sounds of a train can be heard, but strangely, it is the sound of a steam locomotive. The sounds of a phantom train were a very surprising EVP. This EVP seems to reflect a possible dislike for our investigation. During their session in the basement, Monica asks a question where she receives an intelligent response.
Was that you that we saw down here earlier?
This is an impressive EVP and proof that something paranormal is here. After witnessing the strange phenomena and capturing the EVPs, Ally returned for another investigation in September of 2011.
See, the first time, not really a whole lot going through the first time. And then, second time, there's definitely something in there. Just likes to roam around the whole building.
The second time, those disembodied footsteps, I still can't explain them, and it just keeps popping back into my head. I question it all the time.
As we began our session in the basement, Tom and I heard heavy banging coming from the first floor. At first, we thought they were footsteps by the rest of the team.
What the hell is that? X and Y are they banging on the floor like that?
Why are you guys banging on the floor?
Are they banging on the floor?
Were you guys just stomping on the floor a second ago?
Oh, we're sitting quietly.
Just sitting quietly.
Then somebody's in the building making a lot of noise.
We went upstairs to make sure no one had entered the building, but no one was there, and the doors were still locked. Later in the investigation, Felicia and her team entered the basement to start their session, where they encountered the same mysterious footsteps. The heavy banging still remains unexplained. On our next episode, we'll continue to investigate the pizzeria in Durand, where the activity continues to escalate as we move into our third investigation later on in the year.
And we saw a shadow.
We're right over by the hot water heater, right next to the stairs coming down to the basement.
Holy crap, what the hell was that? Anybody else see that? This cry for help comes decades too late. Our investigation into Papa Joe's will continue. For more information, or to review more evidence, visit allyparanormal.com.
Was that you that we saw down here earlier?
What the hell is that? X and Y are they banging on the floor like that?
Why are you guys banging on the floor?
Are they banging on the floor?
Were you guys just stomping on the floor a second ago?
Oh, we're sitting quietly.
Just sitting quietly.
Then somebody's in the building making a lot of noise.